Download the BCSN Plus app today.
Before you guys cast your votes, what are you looking for from these players come postseason time as we get deeper into the postseason, the regional tournament, to potentially make the list?
What I'm looking at, honestly, are the best 5 guys, okay? And
they got to play
to me, the best 5 guys are the guys you can put on any team and they start. Julian Washington will start on any team and do what he's doing now.
And I look at too is who are you numbers don't tell the story all the time. It's who you're doing it against. And if you got guys with very similar numbers, you look and one team's playing, a top 10 teams in the state every other week, and you got another guy that's playing Cupcake City, those numbers aren't equal. Those numbers are not equal at all.
But you can't help that though.
It doesn't matter. Those numbers aren't equal. So strength of schedule, who you're doing it against matters when the numbers are, when 21 versus 21. Well, if 21's against Cupcake City and 21's against the top 10 teams in the state of Ohio, that's a separator. Something's got to make it. Something's got to separate those two. So to me, it's your strength of schedule, your quality of competition, and obviously the production level that goes along with it.
Okay, say you make that argument that you made. Okay, they can't hoop or they play. Then the deciding factor has to be, would they start on this particular team?
That could be one of, but that can't be the, because if I'm a 21-10 guy on a team with a weak strength of schedule, and then you have a guy averaging maybe 14-6 on playing one of the best schedules in Ohio, you can't say, well, if I was in this conference or that conference, I wouldn't be putting up the numbers I'd be putting. I can't control that. You can only go off the body of work that I've put on, no matter who I'm doing it against.
And you know what I could say? If I'm that guy averaging 14-6 and I drop down to this small team, I'm probably averaging 28-10. So we could do it reverse too.
You can.
I mean, so you got to look at who is the better guy. We just have to be honest here.
And you can test a variety of factors. At the end of the day, who are the best 5 guys? If you are picking 5 guys to go play, who are the best 5 guys? And you can evaluate that amongst a bunch of different categories.
And I fully understand that. But if one of the guys you have in mind put up a stinker in the postseason regional tournament when they begin,
who cares? It's the body of work.
It's the body of work.
That's part of the body of work.
It's one game out of 27, 28.
This is why we get the extra time to evaluate these players.
That's not why we have the extra time.
Right? Yes, it is. That is why we have the extra time. These players have an opportunity here to set themselves apart even more so than they already have. If player A is a star, we think he's a lock for top 5, but all of a sudden in the postseason, instead of putting up 21, he's putting up 9 points a game, team bows out early, maybe is upset in the regional semifinals, then how can we sit here and say that, no, they're still a top 5 when another player may emerge?
You're saying that they're equal. And then one team might continue to play better. They're not, but what doesn't mean they're not equal.
When we began the season, I'm saying everybody's on an equal playing field.
And guys ascend ahead of guys throughout the year.
Exactly, and guys can also descend below guys throughout the year, and that includes in postseason time.
Okay, you're saying one game, like they can ascend, and then they have a stinker, a bad night. That's not dropping you to here.
It's not a stinker in the middle of January.
It's one game.
It could be the biggest game of the season, is what I'm saying.
Rhett, so what you're saying, you're not going to put Alan Horton in your top 5?
Well, Alan Horton had 26 against Central Catholic.
Wait, they lost. They keep losing.
They did lose.
And they aren't playing well right now.
But he got his.
So now it's not a team game anymore?
All right, so to that point,
you have to make your team
Walter
better.
Plants is averaging 21-10 on an undefeated Genoa team. So to that logic, he should be in your top 5?
No, why?
No, why?
That's the logic you just shared.
No.
You just said Alan Horton. You try to come at me saying
you said if a team is falling down, he's a good player.
He's a good player, right? But you said because they haven't been winning, that's an argument against him in this case.
That's your argument. I'm not saying that.
All Genoa is doing is winning. How can we not sit here and say, man, Walter Plants, 21 points, 10 rebounds, man, 4
First of all, we're not going to give it away. We don't know where he's going
to
be. But I will say this. But I'm going to say this.
Both of those players are in the top 10.
I got to look at who's the best 5.
Okay. So
who's the top 5? That's the question.
But you saying that now, you're saying nothing within the next 2 weeks could change your mind.
No, probably not.
Because the body of work, it's the body of work over the entire season. Look, but again, you're saying that these guys are like. I'm not saying him per se, but I'm saying you take 2 guys that are even. Then you got to have some kind of separate. But they're not.
Yes.
But there's guys that aren't even.
But it's close. We're about to see some of these
You're
matches.
saying it's close.
There's a chance that within the next 2 weeks we get out of the top 10 players that we get St. Francis versus St. John's, Race Kowalczyk versus Alan Horton, that we get Genoa versus Margaretta, Julian Washington versus Walter Plants. You're telling me this is not an opportunity for guys to stake their claim into the All-BCSN top 5? There's an opportunity here.
You're saying they're even. You're saying these guys are even.
They're not even.
Hold on,
but these games are an opportunity to put one above the other.
Let me say this. For people watching on TV land.
This is fun.
It's not us.
We're not mad.
There's a lot. There's coaches. There's a lot of people, that's going to factor in this decision. So if the coaches say, these are my best 5 guys, we say these are the best 5 guys, and maybe there's still a guy maybe left outside the top 5 that's still rolling. So you're saying he deserves? You know more than the coaches?
I don't know more than the coaches. That's why we have you here. That's why we have you guys. You guys are the experts. But I'm just saying, you guys are talking as if it's already established. Like, you already know who the top 5 guys are. So in that case,
I have in my mind right now who the top 5 guys are.
Okay, and what I'm saying is things should be able to happen in the next 2 weeks to change your mind.
If I have 2 guys that are equal.
Yes.
So,
but if I don't think they're equal, one game isn't going to necessarily decide that.
Let me ask this then. We revealed our top 10 players last week. How many of those players have a realistic shot at this very moment to get in your top 5?
6.
I was going to say 6, yeah.
So you're telling me nothing could happen between now and, let's say, regional finals,
well, if there's
Final
6,
Four?
Obviously, maybe.
Maybe.
If there's 5 and 6 are equal,
yes,
sure. But if 5 and 6 aren't equal, one game ain't gonna decide.
So without naming names, let's say you're 5 and 6 off the top of your head. How close are they?
Mine's not that close.
Not that close. Which means there's nothing that can happen between your 5 and 6 in the next 2 weeks to change your mind.
Probably not, unless it's something ridiculous off the charts.
Okay.
There you go.
So
it's the body of work and all
what is
that.
your, so
strike the schedule and all that.
So what?
For me.
So are your 5 and 6? Or you have what? 7 guys, I'm assuming.
7 guys, I would say.
7 guys. Okay. Are they close? 5 and 7? 5, 6, and 7.
I would say they're close.
All right.
But what's going to be the distinguishing factor? What we see in the postseason? I mean, it has to be.
Does quality of competition matter?
I mean, it's the postseason. It's win or go home.
No, but we're asking the question.
Does the quality of competition
I mean, it mattered to get them to the top 30 and then the top 10. But now if we're looking at things to separate them, because otherwise, we already know who the top 5 are. But if you're saying there are 6, 7 guys that are in contention for the top 5, then what's the evidence going to be?
I already told you my criteria is. When I look at the top 5, I'm looking at 5 guys who can start anywhere and still have the same production. That's what I'm looking at. Camera number 1. That's what I'm looking at.
I agree with Deanna, and I'm throwing in straight the schedule. Again, if I feel that 2 guys are even, I am looking at, okay, what's 21 against this schedule? What's 21 points against this schedule? And I'm going to see, and I'm going to weigh that. That matters. Right. And now, again, if I think 5 and 6 are this, one game isn't going to decipher that. If I think 5 and 5 or 5 and 6 are this, then one game might separate that. We have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Yes, we do. But yes, we do. Well,
that's the beauty of it, though. You know what?
Get to this feeling.
But here's the thing. To be honest, like, that's the beauty of all of this. Is that where am I looking at? That one? Okay. Yeah, the beauty of all of that is this. It's one guy's opinion. It's one guy's opinion. It's one guy's opinion.
And all the great basketball minds in the area as well.
But we have the play-by-play guys, the color analysts, coaches in the area. They all have their opinion.
Well, it's probably 25, 30 guys.
Yeah, it's 20. Yeah, it's probably 20 guys.
We're just the face of it.
And then the bosses above, a lot more higher pay grade than us. They're going to make the decision.
They're going to make the decision.
So, we get to talk about it. That's fun. But what we just did. That's what you do. That's what you do at the house.
Yeah, flash back to high school. At the lunch table, debating who the best players are. But don't worry, we'll have the top 5 in 2 weeks. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Of course, a lot of debate. But trust me, postseason time, a lot could change. A lot could change.
Tournament Time on BCSN is brought to you by Unison Health and the Mental Health Board of Lucas County, reminding you that it's your time, your choice.